If you want to become a better Marvel Rivals player and make fewer mistakes, then you've come to the right place. We're diving into 15 of the most common mistakes Marvel Rivals players make, and more importantly, how to fix them. This video is laser focused on gameplay errors. Think positioning, ability usage, and team fights, but also sprinkle in some settings tweaks to keep your game running smooth like butter. Let's get started and level up your Marvel Rivals game. Mistake number 1, panic-ulting with your hero. We've all been there. You're playing the Punisher, getting pressured, and you force your ultimate out like it's a Hail Mary. But here's the thing, panic-ulting rarely saves you. Instead, hold your ultimate for high-impact moments, like securing an objective or catching multiple enemies in a team fight. Don't hold your ultimate forever, and don't wait for the perfect moment. But don't throw your ult out of the window because, oh my goodness, I'm gonna die, better press all the buttons. Patience is your superpower here. This happens all the time, and in almost every single rank regularly. Every role will panic ult, but it's particularly noticeable with the strategists. How many times have you died and not even 0.5 seconds later the invisible woman ult comes out on your team? Now your team is fighting down a player, you, and down a precious ultimate. If your team is fighting at a player count disadvantage, that invis panic ult could very well tip the scales in the enemy team's favor. Or how many games have you been in where both strategists ult at the same time? Maybe it was to save everyone from a Doctor Strange ult. Great, that enemy Doctor Strange doesn't have to kill anyone because he got both of your strategist ultimates out. This ties into communication with your team about who should ult first, but it is also just straight up panic ulting. Why? Because you didn't have a plan, and we'll unpack that more later. Mistake number 2, ignoring your role's job. Whether you're a duelist, Vanguard, or strategist, sticking to your role's job is crucial. I see too many Hulks diving into the backline out of the line of sight from their strategists, and only to get melted. If you're a Vanguard, in general, your job is to soak damage in one form or another and create space. Think Magneto shielding the team, or Groot controlling the front line. You're also responsible for getting the vehicle moving or controlling the domination point in the middle of the map. You need to force the enemy back and off of the vehicle, off of the point, and out into the streets, out of position. You are also responsible for ensuring your team is safe. You have the highest HP pool to work with. Get in front of your Winter Soldier, who clearly got a little too bold and overstepped. Bubble your Cloak and Dagger when they ult if you know the enemy Iron Man is sitting on his ultimate, and body block to soak up damage for any of your squishies at any time. Again, in general, you have the best idea of what space is in the game, and you know when to take it, when to contest, when to retreat, and where your team needs to focus. You're the leader, so lead. Duelists, you're the damage dealers, so focus on picks. Zoom out and assess where most of your team's damage is being done. Can you help there in any way? Maybe your additional damage is what's needed to burn down that enemy Captain America. Or maybe you need to peel for your strategist and ensure that enemy magic has no more fun the rest of the game. Your job is to assassinate and protect. Don't forget that protect part. Strategists don't have the same tools that you do. They need your help. Don't tell your team they're trash for not handling the Black Panther. You help with the Black Panther. Take him out of the game, then focus on your off angles and kill sprees. Strategists, keep your team alive with heals or buffs. Oh wow, what a great tip. Thanks so much, Prophet. I never thought to heal my team as a strategist. Do you have any other amazing tips I've never heard before? Why, yes I do. Thanks for asking. Deal damage. I know you don't do this enough, because I see strategists in celestial lobbies just standing there on autopilot healing whoever they can in a given moment. I've seen strategists do this in eternity lobbies. I've seen strategists do this at every level. Position yourself to take control of the game more. Deal more damage. This is one of the biggest pitfalls of strategist players. Elite strategist players know when to put their foot on the damage gas and mess the enemy team up. Your 500 out of 600 HP tank is fine for a second. Deal some damage. When you are damaging the enemy team, you are forcing them to heal, which means you can do even more damage. This compounds over the course of a match. Abuse this. Regardless of which role you choose, check your team comp in the spawn room and adapt. If you're unsure, Ask yourself, am I enabling my team or just YOLOing? Fix this by practicing one roll at a time to master its flow. Imagine you're Iron Man, but instead of a repulsor blast, you're blasting a subscribe my way. We cover guides, ranked breakdowns, and more. Back to the mistakes. Mistake number 3, bad crosshair placement. This one's a classic. You're running around as Hela, crosshair glued to the floor like you're searching for loose change. When an enemy pops up, you're flicking like a caffeinated hyena. Instead, keep your crosshair at headshot level, about neck high for most heroes. Pre-aim common angles like doorways or payload corners. In Marvel Rivals, maps have tight chokes, so anticipate where enemies will peek. Practice this in the training range, aim at head height, strafe, and track. Your aim will thank you. You can also test this in quick play to get a feel. Hold your crosshair again at head level to land consistent headshots. Practice pre-aiming high traffic spots like a central point for the entire match if you have to. Adjust your settings to highlight enemy outlines for better visibility. You can do this by going into settings, then clicking on accessibility all the way to the top right, and clicking on enemy color and selecting what stands out best to you. Your aim will feel sharper than Wolverine's claws and you'll be landing headshots like a pro. Mistake number 4, overextending without vision. Picture this, you're Black Panther pouncing into the enemy team, feeling like a king, until you're a dead king. Overextending without knowing enemy locations is often a death sentence. Before you dive, understand this, one good flank can win a fight, but one bad flank can lose it. Be patient. Have selective target priority. Understand who you should ruthlessly focus on and have backup plans. Matches will change in a split second, so you need to quickly adapt. Don't just think, well, I'll react in the moment. You should anticipate that Thor ult. You should expect Invisible Woman to push you away. If you're a strategist, play close to your team, especially your Vanguards. There are times when you want to off-angle or position differently, but you can get punished quickly if you overextend in this game as a strategist, especially. There's nuance here, and sometimes your team doesn't understand when you should be on the attack and charging forward, and even as a strategist, you can help with that, but that's a little different than just frontlining and being silly. For Vanguards, it's really easy to overextend in this game. You're used to getting heals regularly since you're off in the punching bag, and you can simply take a few too many steps forward into enemy territory and overstay your welcome. Boom, a couple of CC abilities later, and you're dead. Don't be that Vanguard. Also, don't go around corners without knowing your strategists still have LOS on you. Even if they do, that doesn't mean they'll heal you, especially if you're solo queuing. Yes, you pressing forward might technically be the right play, but if your team is playing super reserved, you're going to need to play a little slower to accommodate that. You can still win by doing this, by the way, you just have to tweak how you go about things. Mistake number 5, not communicating. Marvel Rivals is a team game, yet some players are quieter than vision in a library. Even simple pings can turn fights. Use the ping system to call out enemies or places on the map. If you're on voice, keep it short. Hulk's low, focus him. If your team's silent, take the lead. Call out flanks or ultimates. It's not about being a shot caller, it's about giving your team a fighting chance. Practice quick calms and casual matches to build confidence if this is something you struggle with. Keep it positive, regardless of your team, and you'll find success here. Mistake number 6, forgetting team synergies. Super underrated category. Marvel Rivals thrives on hero synergies, yet I see players ignoring them like they're allergic to teamwork. For example, pairing Star-Lord's groove with Adam Warlock's revive ability can dismantle teams that don't have a consistent way to take you out. But if you're playing Star-Lord and not coordinating with your Magneto's bubble for you during your ultimate, you're just a guy with a cool mixtape. There's practically an endless list of team-ups and unique synergies you can use in this game, so I can't list them all here, but really think about what is super strong and works consistently, like a Storm and Jeff ultimate combo, or Human Torch and the Thing plowing down enemies with their team-up. If you're comfortable and competent playing Emma Frost, why not select her and give your Magneto a free perk? That's additional percentage points of power in your favor, and you haven't even left spawn. Try practicing duo queues with a friend to nail these combos. It's like assembling your own Avengers team. Mistake number 7, wrong sensitivity settings. Alright, let's talk tech. If your aim feels like you're wrestling a symbiote, your sensitivity might be off. High sensitivity can make you overshoot, Low sensitivity makes you sluggish. I'll say this, most PC players in my experience have too high of a sensitivity. You'll notice this if you go into the training range and practice quickly flicking to a target and overshooting them easily. If you undershoot, your sensitivity needs bumped up. You can click the link at the top right of your screen to watch my most recent aim guide. If you're on controller, you can try the same test and then go into settings and tweak all sorts of settings like horizontal and vertical settings, and you can even tweak your aim curve settings, which is the sensitivity curve used for aiming, which affects how your stick movements translate into in-game aim. There are two main types of aim curves, linear and dual zone S-curve. The linear curve provides a direct one response between stick tilt and aim movement, which makes it a little predictable and suitable for players who prefer consistency. On the other side, there's the dual zone S-curve, which adjusts sensitivity based on how much the stick is tilted, which offers a more dynamic feel. If you're looking for a balanced and straightforward experience, the linear curve is often recommended, especially for beginners or those who prefer a more traditional aiming style. On the other hand, the dual zone S-curve can provide a more responsive feel if you want to fine-tune your aiming based on stick tilt. Test in the practice range, aim for smooth tracking without jitter, and also consider turning off VSync and set graphics to low for maximum FPS. Your game will feel as crisp as Cap's shield. That was a bad one. Mistake number 8, bad positioning in team fights. Positioning is everything. I've seen Iron Men hovering in the open like piñatas, begging to be taken out. Each role has ideal spots. Duelists take high ground or flanks. Vanguards hold the front line and peel for your teammates, and strategists stay near cover to support them. For example, as Mantis, stick behind a wall to heal without eating bullets. This sounds crazy, but people in Eternity will still stand wide out in the open because of how forgiving this game can be with the heals. You don't make it to top ranks in other games by playing like that, but in this one you do. So don't build that habit here. Use cover to your advantage more. Vanguards, this applies to you too. Study maps and quick play to learn sight lines and cover spots. Good positioning makes you harder to kill, and thus it's easier to win. Mistake number 9, poor ability management. Abilities are your bread and butter, but I see players spamming them randomly like they're infinite. Take Scarlet Witch. Her Chthonian burst missiles are strong, but if you burn all 4 of them in the first 10 seconds of a round, you're just a squishy mage with no tricks. Space out your abilities based on cooldowns and fight tempo. For example, save Thor's hammer throw for when you can confirm a hit, not just randomly pressing buttons. Track your cooldowns. It's not about using abilities, it's about using them right. On the flip side, some players rarely use abilities, saving them for the perfect moment. Most abilities in this game aid you in farming your ultimate while providing you and/or your teammates value, so use them often. If you listen to some of my other videos, you may hear me say, use your abilities off cooldown for certain heroes, but remember to not just spam them for the sake of using them, use them off cooldown in effective, thought out ways. This increases your total actions per minute, which increases your chances of dealing damage to the enemy team. If the enemy team takes more damage than you do, they have a health pool deficit, which puts additional stress on the entire enemy team, but especially their strategists. Don't let off the gas though. This is when you go even harder and continue chaining your abilities in smart ways and applying pressure. Now the enemy team needs to play defensive, heal up, and your strategists are freed up to help you do even more damage than before. Do you see how this snowballs? Every round you have a chance to out-action a team, which will often tip the scales in your favor for more damage, more kills, more time on point, and more value for your team to take advantage of it. A lot of this can be summed up. Who does math better if you think about it? Mistake number 10, ignoring the objective. This one kills me. You're fragging out as Wolverine, but the payload's gathering dust. Marvel Rivals isn't just about kills, it's about objectives. If you're not pushing the payload or contesting the point, you're basically cosplaying. Fix this by prioritizing the objective over chasing kills constantly. Use voice chat or pings to rally your team. If you're a Vanguard, lead the charge. If you're a strategist, keep your team alive on the point. Think of it like defending the Sanctum Sanctorum. Focus or lose. To really drive this home, Vanguards, it's your duty in the beginning of a round to ensure your team can secure a point. Whichever team caps point first in a round has a statistically higher probability of winning the round. Don't overextend, but don't push over either. If you still have HP, you need to contest that point and fight tooth and nail to get it. Make sure someone is on it if you move beyond it to create space too. Duelists, quickly realize who the problem players are going to be on the enemy team. Who's playing really well for them, basically? Who's going unanswered the most? Take a glance at your strategists. Are they getting dove? Help them out. You do insane damage. They need your help. You'll win more games by thinking this way. Strategists, play closer to your Vanguards in the beginning of a round and understand LOS like your life depends on it, because it does. Be able to heal your Vanguard from anywhere you go, and ideally position yourself to where the enemy team needs to step to a poor spot on the battlefield in order to properly target you. You won't always get setups like this, but be constantly looking for them. They're available more than you think they are. Mistake number 11, not adapting to enemy comps. You're playing Black Widow. First, gross. Why are you playing Black Widow? I'm just kidding. Kinda. But you're playing Black Widow, sniping away. The enemy team's got a Groot countering your shots. Instead of switching, you keep slamming your head into the wall. Literally. Don't be that guy. If the enemy comp hard counters you, swap heroes. Check the enemy lineup in the kill feed or tab screen and pick a counter. Say the Punisher to disrupt their tanks. Flexibility is key in Marvel Rivals. Practice 2 to 3 heroes per role to stay versatile. You don't have to master them completely, but understand them. Your favorite streamers can get away with insta-locking one hero up to Celestial because they're top 1% players. There's a good chance you're not that good, and that's okay. We can work on getting there, but even pros in tournaments will swap when they get countered. Mistake number 12, tunnel vision on kills. Chasing kills like you're a one-man army is a trap. You might get that one pick, but if you're out of position, their team collapses on you. Instead, focus on team fight impact. For example, as Storm, use your shots to peel for your strategist once in a while, not just to chase a low health target. Ask yourself, is this kill worth my team's momentum? If not, reset and regroup. It's about winning the war, not every skirmish. You'll live more, and when you live more, your actions per minute go up. When your actions per minute go up, your chances of providing more value for your team go up. And if your team gets more value from the sum of all of their actions than the enemy team does, you win. Mistake number 13, not using audio cues. This game has killer sound design, but players ignore it like it's background music. Enemy footsteps, ability sounds, ultimate voice lines, it all gives you free info. For example, hearing Hela's ult line means it's time to take cover. Use headphones if you can and be sure you have 3D enhancement on in your audio settings. Practice listening for cues in matches. Wolverine's claw slashes sound distinct. Audio awareness is like having spider sense for free. And just know you can have audio cues go off every time someone gets taken out. I find this incredibly valuable and it's helped me back off in team fights when I definitely would have missed that earlier. You can find this in settings, audio, and then under the audio tab, there's a combat mix tab right under it to select. And then you're going to turn on announce when a teammate is KO'd. Mistake number 14, reloading at the wrong time. This one's sneaky. You're playing the Punisher, you land a few shots, and instinctively reload while the enemy's still in your face. Now you're dead. Only reload when you're safe, behind cover, or after confirming a kill. Practice this in the training range. Shoot, take cover, reload. It's a small habit with big impact. Another piece here would be utilize your full clip when you can. If you're Luna Snow or a Winter Soldier or a Doctor Strange or whoever has a finite amount in reserves, try using your entire clip on the enemy team, an enemy monstro spawn, or an enemy mine before you reload. Once again, this will raise your total actions per minute, and that's exactly what we want to do. Mistake number 15, negative mindset. This one's not gameplay, but it's massive. If you're tilting after a loss, blaming teammates, or thinking you'll never rank up, you're sabotaging yourself. Marvel Rivals is a grind. Losses happen. Focus on what you can control, your aim, your comms, your vibe. Take a breather after a rough game or two, review your replays, and focus on one improvement per session. In a notebook, Write down one good play and one fix per game. Mute toxic chats to stay focused, and spend 5 matches practicing positivity. Being a teammate's good play. In replays, analyze one mistake and one win per session if you can. A strong mental game keeps you climbing in Marvel Rivals and in life. If you stop making these mistakes, I promise you'll see your Marvel Rivals gameplay skyrocket faster than wearing a really fast pair of pants. If you want to support me, consider becoming a channel member that unlocks exclusive badges, patch update breakdowns, coaching, and more. And you can check out a recent video where we break down how to be more consistent in your games here. Stay frosty, queens.